There's a financial crisis on the horizon. Are you prepared? The news is all covering it. People are selling their stocks. Stuff is about to hit the fan. Or is it? Who knows? But the writing's on the wall. And so the question is, are you prepared? But this is the League of Hustlers where we prepare to prosper. All right. I'm your co host, HC,
I'm CD Barnes.
and this is another episode of the League of Hustlers. And today we're going to be talking about the oncoming financial crisis and are we prepared? All right. Are we in a position to manage our financial status? Are we a master of our financials? All right. So we're going to be covering mastering financial management. Okay. Now, there's a lot of talk going on, right, in the news about, you know, a collapse coming, a recession, or this or that, right? I've never been one to play into those kind of narratives. And I've always held the belief that in any market, we should be in a position to win. We should be in a position to thrive. Okay. But in order to be in that position, we need to be able to effectively manage our financial status. Okay. And that's what this episode is going to be talking about. All right. So, jumping right into it. The main source of our financial anxiety, okay, is always or primarily going to come from unpredictable income, right? The threat of a loss of a job, the threat of some whatever happening that affects your investments, the loss of customers or the loss of extra income that people have, right? Which would in turn cause them to not do that extra spending, right, for your products or services. Um, Another source of that anxiety could also be difficulty in securing funding. And this oftentimes comes to play when you have uncertainty in the financial markets. All right. So these are all or the main two contributing factors to financial anxieties. All right. So it's important to understand where it's coming from. All right.
Right. So facing financial failure head on, right? So these are another set essentially of like anxieties or fears that come along with managing your finances. Accumulating a massive amount of debt or just debt in general, right? It can be overwhelming. And then managing your risk level, the risk of bankruptcy or the risk of acquiring this debt and not being able to repay, right? Or ruining your credit in the process. And all of this is a part of not even just personally, but if you've driven down the lane of like business venture, then this is a part of that as well, right? Accumulating debt, and now you need to be able to generate the income. You need to be able to perform, right? You gotta perform at the level, and greater than actually than the debt because you need to be able to take profits for yourself. And so there's always that underlying risk that's involved with it. And so, again, these are like the fears and anxieties that we face when, in the process of trying to master our finances. These are some of the fears.
Right. For sure. And some of the desires that we want, right? We want financial stability. And so the question is, how do we achieve that financial stability? So the main two ways that we achieve that is through consistent sales and consistent growth. All right. So with your side hustles, with your main hustles, with your careers, with your businesses, focus on achieving consistent sales. Focus on attaining consistent growth. Okay. How do you consistently get those sales? All right. You need to explore things like uh recurring charges, right? Subscription based charges. um, techniques that'll get people coming back into your store, or that keeps people coming back to you. One thing that I found very interesting that's come to pass, like over the past 5, 10 or so years. Well, it's been around a long time, but it's become more popular, right? It's subscription based services, right? These subscription boxes where you can get food delivered to you on a particularly regular basis. Think about in your Amazon Prime, you'll see that option to have a recurring purchase done for you, right? Click a button and you automatically get that item because they figure like, oh, you keep ordering this once a month. How about you go ahead and set that automated purchase in? So boom, that way is that charge is coming in consistently. What are they focusing on? They're focusing on consistent sales. So we need to implement those types of things into our business. Okay. Next, consistent growth, right? Same thing. How do you consistently grow? A portion of the money that you're making, this should come without having to explain it, should go back into your business, right? To help you scale, right? To help you grow. So take a portion, make sure you take a portion of the income, right? Not the regular portion that's set aside to maintain operations, but another additional percentage that goes back into growing bigger, that goes into marketing, and that marketing could fall under a bunch of different umbrellas. It could be influencer marketing, it could be experiential marketing, it could be flyers that you're putting out. So explore different ways to scale, right? So a percentage of the money that you're making needs to go into scaling, needs to go into growth, marketing. All right. The other main way to financial stability is investments, but not any, but smart ones. All right. We need to be able to put our money somewhere where it grows. Okay, and that's a major key. All right.
Yeah. So, with that being said, if you're going to master managing your finances, if you're going to overcome the things that we described as fears, you're going to need a financial plan. And this is just flat out, right? You're going to need to do things like track your expenses, obviously, right? If you can't measure it, if you can't track it, you can't grow it. You need to be able to set achievable revenue goals, explore funding options, and consistent investments. Consistently reinvest in your business. Consistently make those smart investments. I'll add another to the list is systemize your process as it is pertaining to getting customers, as it pertains to your service delivery. The better you can systemize that process, you'll be able to get more customers in and serve your product, serve your service, and that right there can help catapult and drive some of that growth that you're looking for. So craft a financial plan, track your expenses, systemize your operations as it pertains to sales and delivery, and
Right.
there you go. Maintain the asset, right? Whatever asset you're working on, it could be your business, it could be a job, whatever it is, though, you need to master that to the point where you can systemize it. So it's not just tracking the finances and doing the accounting, the literal financial pieces of it, but actually being good at what you do in regards to managing the asset, managing the business, managing your products and service delivery,
For sure.
manage the process that you take to get those customers. Get better at that.
Yep. And this is something that we covered in our flagship product called the Dream Stream Strategy. If you haven't heard of it, if you haven't seen it, please check it out. All right. And here's a little clip. I don't know if you Yeah, you probably can't hear us while we're talking and showing that at the same time. But inside of the Dream Stream strategy, all right, we have a worksheet called the budget allocator. All right. In the budget allocator, let me switch to boom. Yeah, here we go. Inside this budget allocator, this is where we can look at those smart investments. We can effectively manage, all right? We can effectively master our financial management, okay? So, and this is very, very important. this is where it all starts. You need to know where your money is going, right? Every time you get money in, the biggest issue that people have is that they don't know what happens to it. They don't track where it goes. And so what we've created is a budget allocator. So whenever you get a paycheck in, let's say you got a paycheck of 7,500 bucks, right? Whenever that money comes in, you need to know where you're going to put it and put it in certain bags. All right. And these are the bags that we've set up. A give column. I'm super big in charitable giving. All right. So 10% set aside for that. A savings bag, an investment bag, an educate bag, a play bag, and a live bag. Okay. And essentially, the live is what you live off of. Now, these aren't hardcore numbers, and you can go into here in your own spreadsheet and change them. This is why the Dream Stream strategy is so freaking important and so dope because you can customize this for you. All right. So the big thing that you want to do here though is try to achieve living off of 50% of your income. Why HT? The reason why is because when you set your living expenses at 50% of your income, then you have 50% to play with, so to speak. Um you have 50% to invest, you have 50% to give, save, right? And educate yourself. So try your hardest to live off that 50%. Trust me. All right. And if you can get this percentage lower, great. Okay. But anyway, inside of this budget allocator, we've broken it down where you can plug in a number. Let's say your paycheck or whatever you did um got you $3,500 for the week, right? You can come in here and see that these values change. Okay. The cool thing about this sheet is that you can change it to your risk level. All right. We have three risk levels automatically set: moderate, aggressive, and cautious. Okay. Let's say you want to be cautious and you don't want to go heavy on the risk. Okay. With that 3,500, it says to give 350, right? Charitable giving that can be written off on your taxes as well. That's a good tip. Save 1,050, invest 175, educate, put 70 bucks aside to do webinars, courses, coaching, mentoring. All right. Invest in things you can invest in: stocks, bonds, real estate, REITs, mutual funds, ETFs, annuities, cryptocurrency, or a whole business. Okay. And then the play one, right? Also, s- put aside 105 for vacations, hobbies, going out to eat, right? And splurging, things like that. All right. So just keep that in mind. In the Dream Stream strategy, we have a bunch of different tools in here, but one of the main tools, right? You see all these different tools and spreadsheets that we have in here. But one of the main tools that you can use is called a budget allocator. Anything you want to add to that, bro?
No, that's pretty much it, man. That's spot on. Use the calculator, set your percentages to your likings, and essentially just use it. That's the important part. Is begin using it.
Yep. And then below, one quick other thing is you can track it, right? And you can track what you chose for week one, track what you chose for week two, right? What your income was, what you decided to give, what you decided to save, et cetera, et cetera. And all of this is calculated at the end, right? At the end of the spreadsheet. Okay. But the Dream Stream strategy is like a management tool for your business. All right. So that's it for this episode. As always, let's get it. Let's go and prepare to prosper. Hit us up at questions@leagueofhustlers.com if you need anything. And with that, we are out. Anything else, bro?
That's it.
All right.